Well, we're now officially to day 2 of the Spider-Man custody battle between Papa Disney and Mama Sony. And just like with the real world, odds are Mom's gonna end up with custody of the kids. Which is why I guess this hashtag started trending on Twitter, which is Saved Spider-Man from Sony. Now this is a bit of a funny story. When I first saw this hashtag, I thought it said Saved Spider-Man from Soy, which honestly I find a little bit more appropriate in this circumstance. Which kind of sums up how he's being treated by the MCU. Welcome back, Pixel Nation Comics Division here. How the hell are you? That's right, we're still talking about the Spider-Man custody battle. Because you know it's a trending topic, and trending topics get more views. Unless it's one of my videos. I'm beginning to think that YouTube has it out for me. Not only was my hunt video demonetized, it was actually copyright claimed before I even made it public. And on top of that, it was regionally blocked. Because of copyright claim. I guess because I used the trailer? You would think that would fall under fair use, but apparently not. Nope, I'm not bitter. Well, at least my Spider-Man video didn't get demonetized. That was unusual. Anyway, you guys didn't come here to listen to me complain about YouTube. So on with it then. Now, Spider-Man leaving the MCU is probably a good thing, but I'm not 100% sold on it going to Sony. After all, this is the same studio that brought you The Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2, which were atrocious movies. And they've definitely made some questionable decisions around beloved franchises. But on the upside, they did give us the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. Well, at least the first 2 were good. Honestly, I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of done with superhero movies. Not because of superhero fatigue, the only direction they have to go is pretty much down. With Phase 4 of the MCU, the only movie I have any remote interest in is Shang-Chi. Everything else, I honestly have no interest in. I was excited for the Black Widow movie, but it looks like it's gonna get super woke, and honestly, post-Endgame, I don't really care anymore. And the only reason why I want to go see Thor: Love and Thunder is simply just to poke fun at it, because it's gonna be a dumpster fire. And honestly, that's not a good reason to see a movie. Sure, there's the DC films, but it's gonna get ruined by Jar Jar Abrams. Now, Cosmic Book News has been covering the Disney-Sony breakup pretty extensively, but this article caught my eye. Spider-Man Venom rumored to be canceled, replaced by Marvel Comics. Now, something like this happened around 2014-2015. They went and killed off Wolverine. They canceled the Fantastic Four after the Secret Wars event. And then they tried to make the Inhumans more popular than the X-Men. And the rumor has it, which I believe to be true, all this was done because of Fox. You had the Wolverine movies as well as the new Fantastic Four movie. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for history to go and repeat itself yet again, but this time it's gonna be with Spider-Man. Peter Parker's Spider-Man is Marvel's flagship character, and for them to go and fuck with the formula is a really bad idea. If anything, it's just gonna go and hasten the demise of Marvel Comics. We just got done with the Dan Slott era of Amazing Spider-Man, which was absolutely terrible, and for the most part, Nick Spencer has been doing a pretty decent job with the character. If you go to Comic-Con and look at July 2017, again, this is during the Dan Slott era, AMS is at number 14 with only 56,000 issues sold, which is absolutely abysmal for Amazing Spider-Man. So yeah, Dan Slott sucks. Jumping 2 years to July of 2019, AMS now comes in at number 3, selling over 113,000 copies, which is double what Dan Slott was selling 2 years ago. And for clarification, those are issues sold to comic shops, not the actual readers. Now, I like to give Nick Spencer a lot of shit for making Captain America a Nazi during Secret Empire. That was probably because of Axel Alonso and Tom Brevoort, but I'll be honest with you, he's been doing a hell of a job with Amazing Spider-Man, and the numbers do reflect that. Oh, and fuck Dan Slott. Now, why am I showing you all this before jumping into the article? And the reason why is because if Disney is going to do what this article suggests, expect those numbers to go and drop again. Okay, let's get into it. Prior to Disney's purchase of Fox Studios, Perlmutter has been said to be angry at Fox over owning the film rights to various Marvel characters. So Perlmutter, who is in charge of Marvel Comics, licensing, merchandising, and gaming, Feige is in charge of the movies, order the deaths and cancellation of Wolverine, X-Men, and the Fantastic Four characters and comics. Now with the Fantastic Four, it was pretty well known that Ike Perlmutter did cancel the book because of the Fox movie, but that was something I was completely unaware of with Wolverine. Which is funny because I thought this is what started all the gender swapping within Marvel Comics. You had X-23 take up the mantle of Wolverine. So it definitely looks like there was more to the story. Reportedly, Perlmutter wouldn't let the characters be used in video games and even cancel planned merchandise, such as statues or what have you, and ordered existing merchandise to be changed with the removal of the Fox Marvel characters. In addition, Disney did not create any action figures for any of the Fox Marvel movies. Now, I really can't speak to the merchandising aspect. A lot of the stuff I was buying during that time period was just the comics as well as some of the Lego stuff. And most of the Legos I was buying was Star Wars more so than the Marvel stuff. Wolverine, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four only returned to Marvel Comics once Disney started talking with Fox Studios, which was the big indicator that something was afoot between the two studios. Now, Disney owns Fox, and Wolverine and the X-Men are back in full force in the comics in addition to the Fantastic Four, all of which are also now in video games. Now, Wolverine did make a comeback in Legacy #1, which came out roughly around September of 2017, which is suspiciously around the same time when these negotiations started with Disney wanting to go and buy Fox. And it was in 2018 when we finally got the Return of Wolverine miniseries, as well as the return of the Fantastic Four. So it really makes me wonder if Disney was actually the one who was behind the all-new, all-different era of Marvel, where we saw all the race and gender swapping of characters. And it makes sense why Disney would want an all-new, all-different version of the MCU, because all those comics and characters were solely owned by Disney. In a lot of ways, this kind of mirrors what we've been seeing with Star Wars. Regarding the Spider-Man Marvel Comics, I believe there are presently around 7 or 8 titles that include Venom, Black Cat, and some others, in addition to the upcoming J.J. Abrams Spider-Man and the big Absolute Carnage event in October. So if this rumor isn't all legit and the talks do fall apart between Disney and Sony, look for the Marvel Comics Spider-Man line to be narrowed down. Yep, I'd totally buy it. Now, there's also been an update to the story. Additional details include that the plan is to replace Peter Parker in the comic with a new Spider-Man until things get worked out. Now, Marvel has already kind of tried to do this before with Miles Morales, and it didn't exactly go over very well. So it makes me kind of curious as to what they're going to be doing if things do actually fall apart. The comic book industry is not exactly in a healthy spot right now, and a move like this could just make things way worse, at least for Marvel. It's their flagship character, and you really shouldn't fuck with the formula, especially if it's working. That's all I got for today. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you didn't, well, thanks for watching anyway. If you want to see more of my crappy content and shitty opinions, make sure to subscribe. Bash that bell for notifications. I've heard it occasionally works. And I want to give a huge shout out to those of you who support me on Subscribestar. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome.